So I made it. I'm in San Diego and I am just pulled up to the business park. I don't know what you want to call it, wherever I believe this lawyer is. And it's beautiful here. It's very fancy looking. I thought it was a hotel at first, but I think it's a business park, unless GPS has me in the wrong place, in which case I'm not where I should be. Which is kind of exactly how I'm feeling anyways, because I'm not technically a resident here yet, and I'm about to hand in these forms. So I'm going to check them for the 7th time and make sure I have everything that I need. So I have my printout from the lawyer of everything they require. There are 12 forms, which I have here and have marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I have my medical. Oops, this isn't going so well. My medical in a sealed envelope. Has to be sealed, even though they gave me a copy that I can look at. And I passed. And that was an interesting experience also. And I'm very grateful for the doctor who got me in really quickly. But you have to have certain vaccines. Some of which I had, some of which I had when I was a kid, but didn't have my records for, so had to get again. But I just thought it was interesting, and, you know, some of the things I'm experiencing throughout this application process is I don't have a choice if this is what I want to do with my life. And I got the vaccines I needed, because I need to file very quickly, and it wasn't a concern for me. But, you know, it really made me think that they like to not have a choice to have these vaccines. And I had a lot of the vaccines from traveling and other experiences and times in my life. So, but just the fact that they were mandatory in order to get your medical examination in order to be accepted into the United States. Yeah, it's been a long journey, and I'm just excited to be here if I'm in the right place at all. So the other things that I need, and I'm just going to put this back in the elastic band that has come off. So these are all my forms, all 3 envelopes full of it, as organized as I can get. I've got little post-it notes on each one. Hopefully we've filled them all out correctly. And then I need 4 checks, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 checks to the made out to, who are they made out to? It's a good thing I know this. Department of Homeland Security. So 4 separate checks for 4 different things that my lawyer is filing. One is obviously my legality here. One is employment. Another is a travel pass. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And then, last but not least, I need photos of myself and Michael. So there's 2 of him and 8 of me that we got done on Saturday. So I believe I have everything on the list, and we're gonna go hand them in. And I am so happy this day is here, because I thought this would be easy. And when I was originally sent the online portal to fill out the forms. I thought those were the forms, and my naivety kicked in, thinking that once that was all filled out, I would be good to go. But alas, that was just the gathering of the information to fill out the forms. And then the lawyer prepared the forms and sent them all to us, and we had to review and sign physical copies, of which I have right here in my hand, which I didn't want to pop in the mail. And, I went for a beautiful drive and thought I'd hand them in person. I'm feeling anxious, and excited. During this process, we found out, that my date that I was supposed to stay here was a lot sooner than we thought. So, that's the anxiety driving part, is that I'm an overstay. Yeah, so I won't be able to settle until there's like this stamp of approval, or I know for sure that this is approved and going to go through, which really is a feeling I can't really describe. It's, to have, and I'm sure so many people experience this. I know I'm not the only one, but it's really just a sample of what that experience must be like, knowing that your life as you know it, as you want it, could change based on somebody else's decision, in an instant. And the direction I've been heading could be averted, could end up, they could decide no, and I would have to go back to Canada, and the future I have been planning changes, and change is inevitable, but it's out of my hands after today, and we just have to wait and see. So it's really difficult to describe. I thought moving to another country would be easy, and my naive side thought, oh yeah, of course I can do that. It's no issue, right? And maybe, the freedom that Canadians have had to travel in and out of the United States, lended to that idea that it wouldn't be difficult, or of course they would let me in. Of course I can choose to move there, but you can't just move to another country. You have to be accepted and apply and get a sponsor and a whole lot of things. And so, my life has been moving down here for some time. The organization I work with, and now meeting my husband. I'm meant to be here. That's how it feels in my heart. I've been leading from my heart, and following where it's been taking me, and it has led me here, and we'll see if it keeps me here. Well, it wants to keep me here. It's not really up to me at this point, but yeah, there's fear, there's anxiety, but there's a groundedness as well. So yeah, it's been a trip, literally and figuratively, but it's really been an interesting shift in identity, and really made me think how much we identify with a location, and not even just think, but feel that shift. And I can't really put it into words just yet, but before, when I would come visit, or when I would travel anywhere, as a Canadian, that was always home. It was always where I would go back to, until now. And it never felt any different until now that I've been here for a length of time instead of a few weeks or a month, and then flying back to Canada. Now that I've been here for a good chunk of time, it's different in a good way. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's different. And, while I'm not like shouting from the rooftops, I'm a proud Canadian, and like, I'm very, it's fun to, I mean, I've never not loved being Canadian. It's not something I've ever thought of. When I would come down here and visit, before planning to move down here, I, spell words differently. I have different currency. I was very fortunate to have nature all around where I lived. And I don't know, just these little things and nuances and these things about being Canadian that I was just like, yeah, I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit special. I mean, that sounds so stupid, but like, I was the Canadian person on the team, and it's really, like, you really do identify with where you come from or where you're born. And I know that home is wherever I am with Michael. It's here, it's in me, it's in my heart. It's not a location. But when you reroute yourself in another country, there's just a feeling that comes with that. And as I'm about to get a new identity, a different passport, different IDs, different license plates on my car, my car is still in kilometers and Celsius degrees and all these things that come with growing up in Canada and living in Canada. So I even don't say A as much because I'm not around it as much. And this happened when I lived in Mexico. It's how I was able to pick up a lot of Spanish, because I was surrounded by it and I heard it all the time. And so when you travel around and move, you really do assimilate and adapt to your environment. It is just natural. It's just natural. We take on our environments. We become our environments. So as I'm noticing these things in me, as silly or as simple as they sound, like not saying A as much, I kind of miss it, and I don't know if I miss it because it made me different in a way or stand out. And I remember now in high school, we had these English exchange students come over, and I was at a very big high school, and I, felt like it was fun to put on an accent. And people believed I was one of the exchange students. And then that makes me think of, all the things that I've done in my life, or all the things that we do as humans to fit in, to belong, to get attention, to stand out, to be seen, whatever that means. How many masks have we put on? How many masks have we wore that are different from who we naturally are just for that attention? And to take them off and not need the attention is, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm in my 40s now, and I'm looking back at my life and who I've been, all the iterations of me, all the versions of me, and I'm very much stepping into a whole new version of me. My life has changed in immense ways in the last couple of years. Not only leaving a marriage, a 15-year relationship, which I thought was going to be my forever. I thought I was forever going to be in Medicine Hat, Alberta, in my home. This was my life. This was what we did. And And then as I started to change, and learn more about myself and, try and recover from addiction, even though I fell into another substance quite heavily, it really started, these little drips of awareness would come into my thinking and my feeling, because we very much know with our bodies even more so than we know with our mind logically. And I felt there was something else. I had this idea that I would be this person, doing this for work or living here. I could envision it, and I would shut it down very quickly because I was where I was going to be for the rest of my life. That was my be all end all. And lo and behold, one day I changed that. I made a different decision. And it was the hardest thing, one of the hardest things I've ever, ever, ever had to do. And I chose myself. And I knew I didn't want to die with regret. And I'd watched my friend pass away the year before leaving Mark, and we went through that, and it really opened up my eyes to the fragility of life and the shortness of it. I mean, we could be gone at any instant. It's so true. And I wasn't willing to depart this planet with regrets. I wasn't willing to imagine myself on my own deathbed and look back and say, I wish I had done that. Or I wish I had been strong enough to take that risk, or brave enough to take that risk. And there was just so much more I wanted to accomplish in this lifetime. And I don't even know what all of it is, but there was just so much more. So I did it. And it was what I thought was very impossible at the time. And going through it, it was still very impossible. And then one day I was in my own apartment, and I don't know how I got there. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And it was one foot in front of the other, moment per moment, minute per minute, second to second. And there was all these subtleties, these little signs, very like little whispers, whether it was a card that I pulled out of a really messy purse that, said you are strong on it, or it was a random friend from way back when who just texted I love you out of the blue that you haven't talked to in forever. Just little things that kept me steadfast and sticking to my decision. And it was painful. It was a tornado of pain amongst the household at that time, and it was just really hard to not please, to not take back my decision, to not choose somebody else over me, which is what I had done for a very long time. And it was the first time and really big act of choosing myself and doing what I needed to do to be happy. And now I'm here. It really opened the doors to what I believe is meant for me, and where I wanted to go and the direction I wanted to go in my life. And my life has moved fast ever since, because opportunities came up that I wasn't really willing to say no to, out of fear, out of timing, out of, oh, it's too quick, so I'm very much in the middle of this transition as I'm still letting go and grieving the change and the losses in my life, but at the same time, I have all this joy and gratitude for the life I'm building and creating. So there's like this overlap. And it's really, really beautiful because I am able to feel all of it. And it's very surreal. It's a surreal experience. I'm sitting here about to hand in immigration papers and apply to live in another country. And I just have, it's just this, whoa, where am I? Oftentimes it's a whoa, where am I? And how did I get here? And I just have so much gratitude for getting here. And being brave enough to get here. I've moved a few times now in the last couple years, and fear is not going to stop me. Fear's an illusion. It's not real, and I've let it keep me small and keep me trapped, and it's just not going to do that anymore. I'm choosing me, and life is beautiful. Life is so beautiful when your eyes are open. And I've also, in the last year, been able to let go of my last addiction, the substance I was addicted to, which got as bad as my drinking. And I mean, I drink a bit too much coffee and eat sugar and ice cream now, but we're working on that. So I can notice when I'm reaching for something to fill the void, or avoid my feelings, or whatever it might be. I can see it, and so I'm living from a place of clarity now, and not confusion, and not a fog all the time, literally and metaphorically. And I'm here in this beautiful place. And I do miss the snow. I'm not gonna lie. It's almost Christmas time, and this is my first Christmas really making it new. Michael and I get to start again. This is our new start. We can make it whatever we want to do, whatever we want to make it. And I'm very much looking forward to it. And it's okay that it's not how it used to be. We can never go back to how it used to be. And yes, I miss the snow, but I'm gifted with love. I'm gifted with health. I am close to the ocean, which is close to my heart. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful life. So I am going to go hand in these forms. Thank you for listening. I love you.